my name is Rebecca. Welcome to my channel. I am going to show you a very quick, easy DIY to spruce up your front porch for fall. I want to take a minute and say welcome to all my new subscribers. Everybody's amazing. I love all of the comments and I love all of the interaction that I get to do with each one of you. If you've been with me from the start, thank you so much, and I appreciate your support. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. I do a lot of home makeovers, cooking, DIYs. I'm currently on a weight loss journey. Yeah, it's kind of fun. And whatever I do in my crazy, chaotic life, I share it with you because YouTube is not my full-time job. I am an activities and events coordinator for a long-term care facility, skilled nursing facility in Southwest Missouri. So I keep myself a little busy. Whatever I come across that I think is a fun project, I share with you. So come craft with me. I had collected 4 of the rectangular MDF signs at the Dollar Tree. I will collect these oftentimes off of the clearance rack. They may be scarred, they may have a piece missing, and I can pick them up sometimes for 75 cents. When I see them, I pick them up. And I used 4 of them and started taking the hangers off. Sometimes these staples are buried down into the MDF really tight, and so you have to use some wire cutters or even a kitchen knife to kind of pry them out. But I took all of the embellishments off of the signs. They pull right off. They're just glued on. And then I made sure that all of the tags on the back side of the little signs were removed as well. I'm not going to use the front. I'm going to use the back, and I'm going to use the Folk Art matte paint. I'm using the Wicker White, the Iced Coffee, the Licorice, and the French Gray colors. And I put the Iced Coffee on first. Even though it's very similar to the color of the back of the signs, I wanted to have a nice finish on first, and so I used that color to sort of lay a foundation on 2 of my signs and made sure that my entire piece was covered. I went in with the gray because that's a nice contrasting color, and I painted the remaining 2 signs with the gray. I'm just using a sponge brush. It works very well. It allows the paint to soak into the MDF very nicely, and it gives a nice layer of coverage. Of course, the paint that I'm using is one of my favorite paints. I love it. I only have to put on 1 coat. It has a very chalk-like consistency, very thick. Love this paint. I made some streaks with the black and the white across the board to give it kind of a wood grain look. I just used a very fine artist brush to make the streaks, and then I went in with a baby wipe over the top of the streaks that I had painted with the brush, and some Waverly Antique wax over the top of that to give it a weathered, rustic look. The baby wipe just takes the excess paint off in a very gentle way, and if you take too much off, you can always add a little bit more in and make it to your liking. I also like to apply my antique wax with the baby wipe because it's going to add a soft texture onto the top and not put an excess amount on and cover up the work. It's just going to look perfectly aged. Once I had the 2 signs painted brown and 2 signs painted gray and marked out to my liking, you can use these stickers from Dollar Tree. But I had these stencils, the plastic stencils that I had ordered off of Temu. I have used them several times. I love that they're plastic, and they are 4-inch stencils. I paid about $3 for them, and I have gotten a lot of use out of these stencils. I put OUT in black, and then I applied the keep on the other sign, and I made sure that I adjusted my stencil. And fortunately, when you're using a process like this and it looks rustic, if you have a little mistake with your stencil, it's not going to show. And then I went in with some white with a little artist brush and kind of just every now and then put a little dab of white paint to soften up the black and make it look a little bit aged and like it had been there for, a little bit of time. I'm going to use the wired jute cord from the Dollar Tree, and that is what I'm going to connect my 4 signs together with. I knotted a little bit of the cord up so it would look like a knot, and I did use a screwdriver to kind of wrap my cord around to get a nice tight knot looking effect. And then I made sure that when I cut this that I left enough to make another knot at the opposite end of my jute cord. I wanted this to look like it had been aged, like it was being held together by knotted rope. This jute cord worked perfect for that. I put a very liberal amount of hot glue on my sign and laid my knot into that. I also want my signs to hang a little off-centered. So when I put my hot glue on my sign and I positioned my wired jute cord, I did that at an angle. You can use twine for this project. However, the wired jute cord gives it a lot of stability. If you're going to hang this on your porch, there might perhaps be some wind, and you want as much of a stable piece as you possibly can get, and the wired cord will also kind of move with perhaps outside wind and opening and shutting the door. So it will provide some give and take, some flexibility, along with the extra stability that a jute twine might not give. You can use acrylic paint if that's what you prefer. I'm just very partial to the folk art matte paint and the coverage that it allows me. But you can use acrylic paint, and I always encourage everyone to use what you have on hand. This is a huge statement piece for Halloween decor, porch decor, and honestly, you can make it for $6 for the size, for the uniqueness, for the versatility of this sign. You just can't beat the budget-friendly aspect of it. Very easily, if you were to buy this in a store, you would pay probably $24.99 for something that is this large. So you just can't beat the price. You can't beat the versatility of it, because you can use this indoors, outdoors. You can dress this up, and you can have just a lot of fun with this keep out sign. It is so large that I did have to kind of move it into my lap and hold one of the pieces so that I could get the last piece on, but it makes a huge statement. I am just loving this sign. I like Halloween. I like the Halloween decor. I like to have a statement piece on my front door that just goes with all of my other yard decorations. I showed my yard decorations in a previous video. I will link that in the end cards. I also have a playlist for budget-friendly Halloween decor. As much as I love looking in all of the stores at the Halloween decor, I will just tell you that I found the prices to be appalling. If it's something that will hang up and you can decorate your yard with for more than 30 days, sometimes even just 2 weeks, then I could understand maybe paying the prices, but you're only going to have it out for just a small amount of time. Also, I live in Southwest Missouri. The wind can come up out of nowhere unexpectedly, and then you have lost a very expensive piece of yard decorations. And so I did a whole playlist on budget-friendly Halloween outdoor decor. I'm going to use some of the licorice color paint and go over the knot and the jute twine cord just to make it look a little less new, more weathered, more rustic. And I just did that with a very small artist brush and just kind of dabbed here and there up and down the cord and kind of made my sign look a little bit more in keeping with spooky season. I thought it needed just something a little bit extra, so I took my artist brush and dipped it into the licorice, and I added 3 tiny little dots on each end of the sign. It made it look as if I had nail holes on the end of the sign, like it was a piece of barn wood, perhaps a pallet, something that had been pulled off of an older building to make a keep out sign with. I did use a very healthy amount of hot glue, and I had some of the hot glue kind of pulled up once I had put the little knots into the glue. To me, was not very pleasing to the eye, and so I went around the pulled up hot glue with some white and black paint to just kind of camouflage that. In order to hang this, I had a little piece of the jute wired cord left. Made this the size that I wanted. I put a lot of hot glue on the back of the very top sign. I added some strips of duct tape to the back. I made sure that I pressed it down very firmly into the hot glue and on either side of the jute twine cord. Closer to Halloween, I plan to dress this up with some spider webs, add in some bats on the corners. It will be so wonderful for my Halloween decor, and it's on a budget. If you don't like to decorate for Halloween until closer to time, you can just plug this into your existing fall displays and it will fit right in and look so cute. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video, comment, share. I enjoy the comments so very much. So thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos, and y'all have a great week.